Greetings and salutations, my artsy friends. Whoops. How is everyone today? So good, I hope. So good. It is a beautiful Tuesday morning here in Arizona. I hope that it's a beautiful morning wherever you are. I have like all these things to talk about, and my brain's a little bit discombobulated this morning, so please bear with me as I get myself together. Did everybody have a great Thanksgiving weekend? I hope. And a marvelous Monday yesterday. I did. I had a great weekend. So I did get to have a little bit of artsy time with my friend and Corbiere-Scott team member, Lauren. On Saturday, she came over and we just, oh my gosh, we had ourselves a time. We just created and created and created. You'll see her. I will repost her what she one of the things that she created so many amazing things. And that's the thing when you're creating with somebody else, isn't it? Like your creativity just feeds off each other. She created a beautiful card with the sweet Christmas wishes. Let me see if I have one that's kind of together. Anyway, so I will repost that today. But I remember last week, I created the card that had one of these on it, right? So then I started thinking, and remember last Thursday, I believe, I showed you this technique where I used distress ink and distress oxides and distress embossing powder. And then I used some Posca pen. So what I'm thinking, so I did a bunch of them. Seriously, this is what I did. I did a whole bunch of them, and I'm thinking I want to do a banner across my mantle. So I started just fussy cutting these. So I'm going to just continue doing that. And I think I'm going to mat them on black cardstock. I just think that might help. Good morning, Lisa. I think it might help, number one, give each piece a little bit of stability, but also it's just going to give that one little layer of pop, you know. Good morning, Jennifer. How are you today? So that's one project I want to work on today. The other project that I want to work on today, so let me finish cutting this one. And you see, I'm just kind of roughly cutting out. I'm okay if there's a little bit of edge. I kind of like that, actually. The other project, so you see I have my work cut out for me, right? The other project I have is that I took the candy canes from that same art printable, and I painted them all, right? And then, good morning, Michelle Simmons. I painted them all, and then I wanted to make sure that the holly berries were a slightly different color than the red in the candy cane. And so I picked, this is lumberjack plaid, and then this is, what's the apple one? The apple red. No, I don't remember exactly. But anyway, do you kind of remember what I'm talking about? I had a choice between festive berries and candied apple. There you go. And candied apple gave me enough of a contrast. I knew I wanted contrast there. But I'm also thinking that I might do some glaze, like a, I told you I have this Journey glaze. I have this giant thing of Journey glaze. You can use whatever you have, glossy accents, whatever, to make the berries pop out. And then what I'm thinking is that I'm going to cut them all out also, and then I can hang them on my tree. Because we always hung candy canes on our tree. Always, always, always. So I thought, oh, this is a cool way that I can bring something new and fun and bright and funky into my this year's Christmas tree. So that's the second project that I have. And then remember I did this. We did it with colored pencils. That was super fun. Okay. Oh, I have two new stamps that come out today that are released. I think they were released actually yesterday by Unity, and that is Greetings This Season and Life is Rosy. So I'm going to show you. Greetings This Season is an envelope with poinsettia and pine bough and holly leaves coming out of the top, right? And then it just says Season's Greetings. I love a simple sentiment. So I will stamp that off for you so you can see it. And then maybe I'll color it. So let's see. I have some just regular cardstock that I'm thinking I'm going to, I don't know, maybe some colored pencils will be fun on this. I don't know. So when Unity stamps come, they have this like a protective sheet on the back. Peel that off. Then you're going to place this kind of where you're kind of going to want it. And I'm thinking I'm going to fussy cut. So I'm going to put this one and the greeting. Good morning, Nanette. How are you today? And I will fussy cut both of these. Whoops, that's not the way. Honest to Pete. Okay. So it doesn't really matter. Okay, now I'm going to push that down. Then I'm going to ink it up with my Gina K. I love this Misty, I will just tell you. Because then you can, you know, if it doesn't, I should have my little thingy, but I don't. I saw this idea somewhere. This is the company my husband works for. And we have like a million of these, but it's a pop socket for your phone. But it's a good handle for your Misty, right? Brilliant, I think. Re-ink one more time. Push, 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 push. Look at that. Good morning, Kay Leclerc. Everyone say good morning, Kay. She is my mother's next door neighbor and the kindest, loveliest woman. She is, she is, she is. We adore her. Teresa and I are so grateful for our parents' lovely, lovely neighbors. We are, we are, we are. Okay, so that was the first one. And the next one is called Life is Rosy. And oh my gosh, it's not Christmassy, but it's going to be so fun to color. So I'm going to peel that protective sheet off the back. Then I'm going to This is gonna go off the edge, which I kind of love. So I'm going to put a magnet right there. And then let's ink it up. There we go. Let's see how it goes. Good morning, Heidi. How are you? Hey, Tam. It's chilly there. You know what? It's a little bit chilly here, but I won't embarrass myself by saying what it is. Because I know everybody else is much colder than me. But it's cold for Arizona. I tell my dad, I have very thin blood now that I live here. Ta-da! There we go. So there's the stamped images of the my new releases. Well, what did I do with the other one? Here we go. And these are both on like tremendous sale right now. I put links in the caption for today for this video, so be sure to check them out. The prices are unbelievable. So I thought we might play with these a little bit. And then I have to tell you, number one, if you're brand new here, if you would follow, like, and subscribe to Ann Corbiere-Scott Designs, I would greatly appreciate that on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And then ask to join our private Facebook groups, Let's Get Artsy with Ann Corbiere-Scott, and then Stitch the States with Ann Corbiere-Scott. That means, remember, tomorrow I'm going to I will do 30 minutes of slow stitching and easy conversation on Stitch the States with Ann Corbiere-Scott, where I stitch my state flower embroidery patterns along with you. Anyway, so I stamped these off and I showed you my in progress stuff, but I have something else in progress, and I'm hoping that you remember when we kind of started this. So if you took my class for Ornamentally Yours, then you remember this technique. So I'm going to do it with my Mele Kalikimaka stamp set also from Unity. So this stamp set comes with two images, the flower and the hibiscus and the sentiment that I hand lettered. So I took that hand lettered sentiment and I just stamped it all over in different directions. Filled the whole piece of cardstock. I think it's actually watercolor paper. And then, do you remember I showed you the technique where you can scrape some modeling paste through a stencil onto your image, right? And then the cool thing is you can paint this. So I thought that's what we could do today. We could paint the hibiscus and the backer, and then we can, in the end, build a card, right? So here we go. I'm going to open my paints. And I'm going to share that same, do you remember we did kind of a jiggy-jaggy blend for the background of this with this mat. So I'm going to set that aside. I think I want to paint that, so I'm going to use kind of a big flat. I think I'm going to paint my hibiscus pink I'm just kind of feeling that this morning. But you know, it could be whatever you want. But I'm going to be surrounding, so look at the hibiscus is going to be pink or whatever color you want to paint that. So it could be red. That might be kind of Christmassy. Let's do that. And then this foliage is all going to be green, right? So we want something, think about your color wheel. Our background, we want to help this flower pop, right? So red and green are across from each other on the color wheel. And so I'm thinking I want to do green as my backer. So I'm going to, here we go. I have my water, my brush and my water. And I'm going to get some water in there, in that green. Remember, we need to like work it in, work it in, work it in. Good morning, Veronica. How are you? So I will say, I got all of the sold out washi tape in the mail yesterday. I still can't believe it. Thank you all so much for, helping my dream come true and spurring me on to dream another, you know? So I'm going to do just splotchy, turn it so we're not going all in the same direction. Yay! I'm so glad you did find me live, Veronica. So I think what I'm thinking I want to do is I want this to dry, and I can't dry it because I think I left my heat gun upstairs. But I think I want this to dry, and then I'm going to maybe do some splatter on here too to just keep, oh my goodness, do you hear Solomon moaning and groaning? He's a pitiful dog. He's got, you know what? Life is rough for a dog named Solomon. That's what he says. Okay, let's take a paper towel, wipe up this color, set that aside to dry, and then let's start painting this hibiscus. So I'm thinking I want to do red, right? So I'm going to do that first red. Work that water into that paint. You'll have such better luck. You'll have way better color coverage, right? Just take a second to just kind of work it in. And then look at that. Look at that beautiful color. But you know, I like mine to be transparent because it's watercolor, right? I'm going to pull some of that red over because you can always build darker. It's way harder to take away. So, like I said, I got everything mailed yesterday. So if you were one of the lucky ones who were able to place an order before it said sold out, be on the lookout for a package in the mail this week. So pretty. We can start doing some of the leaves now. Hmm. Hey, I saw a story about Vincent van Gogh that was, oh my gosh. So, the story was about an exhibit that is at the Detroit Institute of Art, and it's called Van Gogh in America. And holy tamale, is it fascinating. So, did anybody else see it? Heat wave, schmeat wave. 41. Do you have snow on the ground, Kay? Let me get a little bit of green in there. CBS Sunday Morning, Veronica. Although you can watch any of the CBS Sunday Morning stories on YouTube, on the CBS Sunday Morning YouTube channel. So be sure to check that out. I do it all the time now. I love it. I love the idea of, let's see what this green is. Oh, that's perfect. Do these monsteras, a slightly darker green. Anyway, so the story is that there's, so this lady named Jill, what's her last name? Jill Shaw spent 6 years building this beautiful exhibit of his artwork. Curating it and telling his story of how sorry, I can't paint the small things, I guess, and talk at the same time. Okay, so I guess I need to be quiet until I finish this. Goodness, I'm so sorry, you guys. But it's like trying to use two parts of my brain that can't be used at the same exact moment. Because I need to look at my notes, and that's, my noggin's not cooperating. So you know I love Van Gogh. And so Jill Shaw says she believes that, oh, you guys, look at it. Good morning, Lenora. How are you, my love? I am so glad you're here. I adore Lenora. So the story about Van Gogh. So, Jill Shaw had completed the exhibit. It took her 6 years to complete it. And now it is on display at the Detroit Institute of Art, like I said. And the name of the exhibit is Van Gogh in America. So she talked about that she thinks that Van Gogh is the most beloved artist, beloved by, is not the most, but he's very beloved by the American people because his work is joyful and beautiful. And she talked about the texture of his brushstrokes. And we know that, right? We know how beautiful his brushstrokes are. Okay, now I think I want to do the... Good morning, Jan. Well, I'm so glad that you're able to watch the replay. Then we can still be together. Oh, this is pretty. Because it's a little bit bleeding into the other green, but I think it's going to be really pretty. Perfect. Set that aside to dry. And while those are drying, clean that up, and I'll start snipping away at all my fussy cutting that I need to do. You see, I did one cool thing that I did in addition to what we did last week, is that this one I didn't do, the ones for the banner, I did not do the embossing powder splatter. I foiled it. Can you see the black? I foiled it in black. So that just adds like this shimmery element to my poinsettias. Oh, so pretty. So pretty. I just love it. Anyway, so I have a lot of fuzzy cutting to do. Oh, this one I did do the splatter, so I'll just make another card out of that one. Anyway, so she was telling the story of like how America kind of discovered Van Gogh, and in 1913, there was the New York Armory had a exhibit of modern art. It was the first major U.S. showcase of modern art, and Van Gogh had 21 works there, and like nobody bought his stuff. Nobody. In 1922, the Detroit Institute of Art. So think about that. His work came to America in 1913. It wasn't until 1922 that the Detroit Institute of Art bought one of his most famous self-portraits, the one with the straw hat, and they paid $4,200 for it. Can you imagine what that's worth today? Holy smokes. Anyway, and then in 1926, his work started showing up in art museums. It started in Chicago, of course, then St. Louis, then Kansas City, and they talked about how it was kind of fascinating how all of his work came to America, but was showcased in the Midwest. Midwest girls, holla! In 1934, Irving Stone wrote a book called Lust for Life, and then that was like loosely based on Van Gogh's story. And then, and that became published then and was a pretty big hit. Ooh, everybody take a drink. And then in 1936, the Museum of Modern Art, New York, had Van Gogh's very first museum retrospective in the United States. And when those two things kind of combined, there was the explosion of Van Gogh. And then in 1956, that book, Lust for Life, was made into a film with Kirk Douglas starring in it. And I've never seen that. So, That's your homework. We all need to go watch that movie. We all need to go watch Lust for Life. You know what was the most fascinating? They showed this little tiny clip from the movie, and he had the straw hat with the candles all around. Remember that? So I'm like, oh, I gotta see that movie. I gotta see that movie. And they talked about, that he suffered from mental illness, certainly. And he had bad episodes where, the famous one where he cut off his own ear. And then he only worked as an artist for 10 years. Did you know that? Isn't that a fascination? He died at the very young age of 37. Isn't it crazy to imagine that he created all of those great works, all of it, in 10 years? It's astonishing to me. Like, just astonishing. Oh my gosh, you guys, I love these. I'm loving these poinsettias so much. These artsy poinsettias. And like I said, I think I'm going to mount them all on black cardstock. And then, and just kind of fussy cut a little black border. I mostly just want it for stability so that the banner will, lay nicely. I will absolutely be using Michelle Hamilton's straw piece, like cut up straw behind the banner pieces, and then string my ribbon through that. I will use that. Don't you love when you find out a super cool technique like that they think is, I'm sure Michelle just thought, it's just some funny little thing, but it's so brilliant. And we can use it like a million times. Good morning, Michelle Welsh. Hey, Carolyn. Hey, Jennifer. How are you all this morning? I'm so happy you're here. I wish I would have remembered to bring my heat tool down here, but alas, I did not, because I really wanted to build the hibiscus card with you. But so I hope that you remember the technique from Ornamentally Yours. If you did not go to Ornamentally Yours, just know this is a way to really add some depth and really cool interest to your card. Oh, ick, I'm so sorry you're in the urgent care waiting room. This is like a petri dish, isn't it? I'm always aware of how many people are hacking and coughing and Okay, so for this one, I stamped a background, right? And then I scraped some modeling paste through a stencil. This is one of my favorites. This Dot Fade from the Tim Holtz collection. And then you can watercolor on top of that. So think of all the possibilities. Here's the one I did in Ornamentally Yours for the fall leaves. And this one I printed off, I believe it was Vintage Puppetry 6, right? So look at that. So look at all the layers we already have, all of the, right? You want to really build all of those layers and all that visual interest. So think about, there is the Vintage Puppetry 6. Then I die cut the piece with a stitched rectangle. So there's another little bit of visual interest. And then I scraped my modeling paste through a stencil. And then I let it dry. But look, stop it. Even if I don't watercolor this, look at the visual interest oh my gosh, but I totally want to watercolor it. So just know you can take that and run with it. Let's see, what else did I want to talk to you about? Seems like there was something else. Oh, well, let's do the comfort book. Oh, the Christmas one, Jennifer, is that the one you're talking about? The Christmas, the Mix and a Mingle. I think that was my last year's banner from Ornamentally Yours, because we do Ornamentally Yours a couple times a year, so sometimes I forget. Scroll your mind. Social media can be a gallery of lives you aren't living, of diets you aren't following, of parties you're not attending, of vacations you're not on, of fun you're not having. So cut yourself a break and scroll your mind instead. Scroll your consciousness for reasons to be grateful to be you. The only fear of missing out that matters is the fear of missing out on yourself. Come on, how amazing was that? Oh, hello, Elaine. The great card maker Elaine Tanner is visiting us this morning. And I will just tell you, her cards are just stupendous. And she ordered some of my washi tape. So that's exciting. And I can hardly wait to see what she does with it. I'm sure it will be brilliant. Okay, let's see. Elaine is the best. Michelle Welsh. The name of the book is The Comfort Book by Matt Haig. And we just read, you can read it cover to cover if you want. I like to just read one little snippet and then digest that each day. So, and I believe it is on my Anne's Artsy Arsenal, my Amazon affiliate links. This book is on there because I think everybody should have it. I just think everybody should have it because it gives you something new to ponder each day. Do you know what I mean? It gives you you know how sometimes we just get in our own head or we get ourselves all, we just obsess about things, and I just feel like it gives me something different just a little something different to ponder. And it's been very effective for me to just incorporate it into my day. Can I tell you the cheapskate in me and the person who can't throw things out? Can I tell you how much I'm like, I could make something out of that because look at how cool that is. And the other part of me is like, and just throw it away for crying out loud. But I do, oh my gosh, I love these poinsettias. I did so I did all of those layers of distress inks and distress oxides, and then I did that, that magical water splat. Oh, that just melts my butter. And the distress inks and the distress oxide, I did the smush technique, and then dried it in between, and so much depth and so much texture. I just love it. Like I can just picture it hanging on my mantle. Let's see. I watched the end of the Great British Bake Off or baking show. Has anybody else obsessed with that? Because I just love it. Because they are so creative in ways that we're not creative. Do you know what I mean? Like they're creative with cakes and cookies and all those things. And it's just, I love to watch their mind work. I love that show. I love it too, Jan. I just find it fascinating to see like what they create and how they create it. And it does make me, don't you think, we were talking about this in book club, and I think it kind of holds true to that too. I think a good book makes you think about new places and new things and want to do a little research. So the last book we read was The Reading Room, or The Reading List, excuse me. And most of the characters in that book were Hindu. And so they talked about Hindu food and Hindu, like the name of their, the place where, oh my gosh, Jan, I looked up and saw, I think that's so funny. You know what? I can't speak with an English accent because my mother-in-law is British and, you know, that would be sacrilege. But you want to hear something so funny? Jeff doesn't think his mom has an accent. She very definitely does. Oh, it makes me laugh so hard. But I have a Midwest accent. And I think it's always worse when I go back home. It comes when I come back. I say a lot of holy smokes and, you know, about. I even get an A in there every now and again. It just happens. You don't even realize it. Jan, you crack me up. I think we did talk about that, didn't we? That your mom was British? Oh, it makes me giggle. Almost there. So, are you a person who is creating Christmas cards now? Are you a person who has already created all of your Christmas cards? Are you a person who makes Christmas cards but never sends them? What are you? I would love to know. I would love to know. I told myself that I was sending Christmas cards this year. I haven't for the last couple years. I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it. And so, but I told myself, this year, I am absolutely sending Christmas cards. You know why? Because I love getting Christmas cards. I love the whole ritual of it. I love hanging them up and looking at them. I like the picture ones because I can watch friends' children grow, or I see my friends' faces, you know, which always makes me happy. Hey, Mary, how are you? Oh, Michelle, you're killing me. That's so funny. That's funny. That's funny. I have done that too. Oh, the ones that I send, the handmade ones, I'm very selective who I send. I do hoard a few too, Angie. I will just tell you. You're so funny. The handmade ones, I try to only send them to people who will appreciate them. Do you know what I mean? Because you don't want to, all that work. But I told myself this year I'm doing it. I'm sending handmade cards to people, like I said, that will appreciate them. And I'm sending the photo cards to most of my family and friends. Because I have this great picture of Jeff and I when we visited James in Austin. There's this, you guys, it was so cute. And James was the one who was like, Mom, I know you'll want to go take your picture in front of this. So there's this mural, and you know I love me some murals. There's a mural on the side of a building, and it says, my butter half, and it's a slice of bread and a pat of butter. So we totally took a picture in front of that, and that's what I'm going to use as my Christmas card picture this year. I've just decided. That's that. I'll probably just get them from Costco like I always do. You know. You know how we do. Oh, Elaine, are you feeling under the weather? I am so sorry. Oh, that stinks. You're in Washington State, aren't you, Elaine? I just wrote your address yesterday. I believe that's where you are. Is it rainy there today? Oh, that's the worst. That's the worst. Because there's nothing you can really do. You just kind of have to let it run its course, and that's blech. Maybe you'll find something good to watch on TV. After you watch me, of course. Okay. Did I do them all? I think so. It's snowing. Oh, that'll put you in the Christmassy mood. Jeff had to go back to his mom, so no Christmas decorations up here yet. But they're coming. Okay, I want to do the stamen, or maybe it's called something else. On a hibiscus, but I want to do it yellow. I love that because it's just that big pop of yellow, you know, in this very center. Let's get that going. Look at that. And then I want to do some do some colored pencil on here. And then but before that, I think I want to, whoops, too watery. I want to build up some color here, right? And then we'll do the jiggy blend. Right, so let's get some base color there. Right, and now remember we're going to take our brush, we're going to rinse it, and then tap it off on our paper towel, and then come back and jiggy blend, pull up the outer edges of that of that petal, and then we have immediate form to our petals. Jiggy, jaggy, jiggy, jaggy, and then come up those sides. Tap that off if you have excess pigment on your brush. Then come back again. I dipped and I wiped off again, and then I'm going to do the jiggy, jaggy blend right there. Right? Let's do it again. Rinse our brush, tap, tap, tap. Jiggy, jaggy, jiggy, jaggy. And then we'll pull up those sides. And remember, look back, forth. And remember, turn that substrate, whatever you're painting on, turn it so it's comfortable for your hand. Don't force yourself to try and paint in a way that's not working with your hand. Jiggy, jiggy blend. Up the side. Jiggy, jiggy blend. Up the side. Tip, tip, tip. Oh, that's a good one. Okay, one more petal. Jiggy, jaggy. Tap off that excess pigment. There we go. Oh, isn't it the funniest thing? Elaine, I got this, I don't even know where I got it. From something I ordered somewhere along the line. And they just sent it to me, and it's, look at how, so you just refill it and water, water, water. I'm a big proponent of water. Lots of people don't, I think people are a little bit intimidated by adding water sometimes. And I just think that it makes all the difference. Okay, so we're going to let this dry. Look at this and see if there's anything that we need to add or, I don't know. Oh, look at that. It's going to be so, so pretty. I kind of like it down here. I mean, I'm not going to start fussy cutting it, but I'm kind of liking that. And then maybe on a black card. I don't know yet. So now I could start cutting out these 900 candy canes. It always makes quick work of it when I can just do it while I'm chatting with all of you, you know? Oh, Mary, I hope that you follow me so that you can share, follow me and be sure to ask to join the Let's Get Artsy with Anne Corbiere-Scott Facebook group so I can see what you make. I love that. I love to see what people create with my creations. Can I tell you, it is magic to me to see how other people see it. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of weird that it's, it started out as a figment of my imagination, and then it just turns into, holy tamale, something like, oh my gosh, I would have never thought of that. And I think that's what a creative community does, right? We just keep inspiring each other. Like, oh, I wouldn't have thought of that. How can I do that in another way? On Thursday, remember each Thursday is the Pop and Paint Party that we dedicate to art journaling. So we will be using our washi tape to start a page or two. And, you know, maybe some Christmassy imagery from one of my art printables. It'll be there, I promise you. So these, remember, I'm going to do that. I really feel like if I add that little bit of glaze to the holly berries, that's going to add like just enough contrast and texture that it's going to... I mailed it yesterday, Jan. I mailed everybody's washi tape yesterday. And it went priority or whatever that, you know. Whatever they said was the fastest way. Because, you know, that was like sending my babies out into the world. It was a weird experience. Like, most of me, part of me was like, but I just want, oh, yay. Well, I can't wait to see what you'll, I can't wait to see what you'll create with it. All of you who bought it. And I'm already cooking up my next designs. I have all kinds of ideas. Don't we all? Like, don't you have way more ideas than time to create? That's for sure. So, is this still dirt? Yeah, that's still, well, I could start fussy cat. It is sold out, Mary. So I do these I've started to do limited editions and limited supply. So, but I will order more this next time. Yes, Melody, yours is on its way too. You too, Deb. Fussy cut. Oh, Debbie, thank you so much. Thank you. I can't wait to see what you create with them. Can I tell you, I design for, well, should say, my artwork is licensed by two of the most amazing companies, Adorn It and Unity. And I think that they're amazing companies because they're both family owned and they've stood the test of time. They both have amazing work ethics. They're just the loveliest people. And don't you want to associate yourself with that? I just read something about, you know, I'm sure you've all heard that you are a reflection of the 5 people that you keep company with, you know? And I think that's true, you know? If you're around a Debbie Downer all the time, then you're going to kind of be a Debbie Downer. But, and the weird thing is that, oh, you guys, stop it. That because we're on the internet, I kind of consider you, part of my world, you know? We meet every Tuesday and Thursday, and we make stuff together. I love it. I don't know. I'm feeling like, don't say Debbie Downer. Exactly, Mary. Don't you think that, and as I've gotten older, I am a little more discerning about who I choose to, I'm very discerning about who I let come into my home. And, because I've had a few, moments of, shouldn't have done that. Oh, you know what I'm wondering? What if I do this? And then this on top. Oh, I love that. It's kind of anchored. I'm just going to fold it back. I'm thinking maybe. I just love that they're all black and white, because then you can make it whatever you want it to be. There, or, I don't know. I'm loving it. You like the washi tape? Is that what you're saying, Elaine? Yeah, I am too. It just adds another little something, doesn't it? I mean, and this is like full of something because of all of the texture and stuff. But everybody take a drink. Well, now it looks like the time is up, and I've gone over, like always. I always do. I'm so excited to see what you do with it. I can't wait, Elaine. Oh, that's so cool, Mary. See, look at that. It does make a great anchor, doesn't it? I love that too. I love that too. See that? And I love how, I mean, I don't have the biggest following, certainly, but we are strong. We are small but mighty. That's for sure. We are the best little group. We have the best little creative community. I love it, love it, love it. Well, I will bid you adieu. And first, I will say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for supporting me. And my heart is still bursting. I'm so grateful to every single one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will finish these cards up. I have lots of team cards to post today using Unity stuff and my stuff. I can hardly wait for you to see. I adore you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It was the best day ever, wasn't it, Jan? And who knew it? Who knew it? Well, we kind of knew it. I adore you all. Thanks so much, everybody. Go out and make it a tremendous Tuesday. Talk to you soon. Bye.